Could you provide some insight into whether the president is considering any additional measures against Europe and Brazil, not only regarding censorship, but also to address the growing attempts to block political candidates from participating in elections? We've recently seen troubling examples in Romania, France, and now Germany, where candidates like Joachim Paul are facing efforts to prevent them from running. The president has already expressed concern about former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, who is being barred from seeking office. This is happening alongside an alarming rise in censorship on online platforms, including American-owned ones, and attempts to silence American voices. For instance, I am currently under criminal investigation, along with my Brazilian colleagues, for publishing the Twitter files in Brazil. We are very grateful that the president has imposed Magnitsky sanctions on the judge involved in this case. Given the likelihood that Bolsonaro may face a conviction preventing him from running, is the president considering any further actions to address these crackdowns in Europe and Brazil? It's shocking, for example, that in Germany, mayoral candidate Joachim Paul has been criminally indicted, with the indictment absurdly citing his statement that he loves the Lord of the Rings as evidence of extremism. Again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here, and I appreciate what the Trump administration has done to defend free speech abroad.
Thank you for being here, Michael. We truly appreciate it. Freedom of speech is arguably one of the most important issues of our time. It is a right enshrined in our Constitution, and the president feels very strongly about protecting it. He personally experienced censorship during his journey back to this very Oval Office here in Washington, D.C. So this is an issue he takes extremely seriously, as does the vice president and the entire Trump administration. That's why we've already taken significant action regarding Brazil, including imposing sanctions and using tariffs, to make sure that governments around the world are not allowed to punish their own citizens in this way. At the same time, while the president is leveraging America's influence to defend free speech abroad, he is equally committed to safeguarding it right here in the United States. I don't have any new actions to announce today, but I can tell you that this remains a top priority for the administration. The president will not hesitate to use the economic and, when necessary, military strength of the United States to protect freedom of speech around the globe.
A quick follow-up to that. There was a recent Reuters report suggesting that the Trump administration views censorship not only of U.S. platforms, but of Americans themselves, as a key sticking point in the ongoing U.S.-Europe trade negotiations. Do you have any updates on how those trade talks are progressing? Additionally, is the president concerned about NATO membership in light of these developments? NATO requires member states to uphold democratic principles, including free speech. Given the recent actions we've seen in countries like Romania, France, and Germany, could these measures potentially jeopardize their standing or qualification for NATO membership?
I haven't heard the president specifically link this issue to NATO membership, but I have heard him raise the topic of free speech and its importance in conversations with foreign leaders around the world. For example, during our visit to Scotland, he discussed with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom how essential it is to protect free expression there. He has made similar points in discussions with other world leaders as well. It's clear that the president consistently emphasizes that defending free speech is a top priority for the United States.